One, one, two, one, one.
पहले गुरु के चरणों को मैं नमस्कार करता हूँ, क्योंकि गुरु की दया से, गुरु के अभ्यास से, केवल गुरु के अभ्यास से रामायण कथा को मैं वर्णन कर सकता हूँ। हे गुरुदेव, बार ही बार आपके चरणों को मैं प्रशंसा करता हूँ। First and foremost, I pay unreserved respects to the feet of my gurus. In the first instance, my Diksha Guru, the one who, as you would say, christened me, Pandit Mahesh Maharaj, whose tireless volunteer efforts have molded me into attempting to be a narrator of Ramayana Katha. To him, I am eternally grateful. I hasten too to the feet of my Vidya Guru, Pandit Shri Ram Jadanaran Misra, who too was highly instrumental in my becoming a narrator of Katha and all that complements it. To him too, I pay my unreserved respects. On behalf of the hostesses here, Kavita Ramcharitar, who pilots Vision 2 video and photo production, we are gathered here to Mrs. Shyama Singh too and family. We are gathered here to commemorate. Today would have been the birth anniversary of Krishna, and what best way to commemorate via Satsang. It is my understanding too that my very dear friend Krish Singh, radio personality, today is also a hallmark day for him. So for both reasons we gather here, honor them via the verses of Ramayana. I would also extend my blessings to the group, a diminished group because my group has migrated temporarily, but I am very grateful to, on the keyboard, Nirmal Ramdas Singh. Very much pleased to have you, Nirmal. God's blessings to you. And of course, the very well-known, familiar Varnish Tiga Singh, who is always there at beck and call. We welcome each and every one, a very hospitable and warm welcome, because there is no Katha if there's not an audience. So I thank you for being present here and hope that the next hour, 15 minutes or so, it'll be quality time that you spend together. To those who are on stream, a very warm welcome to you. Sitaram, Namaste. And we allow Sant Tulsidas Ji to do all the talking from here on. I ask you to bring to mind the God of your liking and understanding as I make this opening invocation, the first of which is for the repose of the souls that have departed. And then we seek out the blessings of the celestials so that where we spend time here, it be well worth the while. Om Anadhinodhana Vishnu Shankha Chakra Gadadharam Apadu Pundarikaksha Pretu Gati Samuda Bhavaha Om Yam Brahma Vedanta Vedo Vadanti Param Pradhanam Purusham Tathanye Vishvodgate Karanam Isharam Va Tasmai Namo Vigna Vinashanaya Om Pratibham Satsabhayam Cha Vicharaksha Shubham Luptam Sarvam Daiva Yogan Navibhutam Punaha Guru Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Para Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shudhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namaha Shivaya Om Atulita Baladhamam Swarna Shailabhadeham Dhanajavarikrichanam Jnaninama Graganyam Sakalaguna Nidhanavanaram Dhisham Raghupati Varadutam Vatajatam Namami Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pataye Namaha नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोषयति मारुतः। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय, बोले श्री सरस्वती माता की जय, बोले श्री गुरु महाराज की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। It will be indeed remiss of me not to acknowledge the input of my son Vaman, who has set up the PA system. God's blessings to you, Vaman. In our closing invocation, it comes from Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita consists of 18 chapters. This is taken from the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And the writer says, Bhagwan Vyas is the writer says, Nainam chindanti shastrani. At time of the passing of someone, there is remorse. Naturally, we have a connection, so we are in sorrow. And it is the same predicament the very good friend of Krishna Bhagwan Arjun found himself. The threat of death to his kith and kin. So he donned his bow and arrow and asked Bhagwan Krishna to uplift me from this state of remorse. And Bhagwan told him that when the inevitable, which is death, comes our way, Nainam chindanti shastrani, don't think your arrow will destroy anybody or any weapon will destroy anyone, because the soul exits the physical body at the hour of death, and that is eternal. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha. So we place the body into the fire and we says, okay, we have burned the body. Yes, it's only the body with the 5 elements you have burned. The soul is not affected by fire. Na chainam kledyantyaapo na shoshati marutaha. That if we were to sprinkle water, the soul is unaffected. And if we were to, metaphorically speaking, hang out the soul to dry, the wind cannot dry it. It's eternal, not affected by the elements. So the Hindu concept of death, as another slok from Gita says, Dehinu asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhiras tattana muhiti. We go through the stage of youth, middle age, old age, but there's no stoppage, there's no cessation of time. It's a continuity. So too when we drop this mortal coil, it's a continuity. We spend a lunar year with our ancestors, and then we up for reincarnation after one lunar year, and the continuity goes on. So there's no non-existence of the body. So honing in on the fact that the Hindu concept of death is but a leg in the relay of eternal life, we ought to take, we ought to give perspective to the concept of death and find some degree of comfort, not in what I say, but I have just quoted 2 shlokas from Bhagavad Gita when Bhagwan Krishna says. And we'll hear Sant Tulsidas Ji as he takes up the attack from this point in time. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Gaye sabha darbar tava, sumiri Rama pad kanja, simha khavani ita udya chittai, veera veera balapunj. Gaye sabha darbar tava, sumiri Rama par kanja. Kand, the penultimate chapter, the penultimate Kand of Ramayana, where Shri Ram was making preparation to have wage battle with Ravan, but he gave Ravan, according to protocol, one last chance. And in order to negotiate with Ravan, for Ravan's benefit, he sent his dute, his ambassador Angad, to have conversation with Ravan. When Angad entered the precincts of Lanka, the parliament of Lanka, Tulsidas says, here how he entered. Gaye sabha darbar tava sumiri Rama parakanj. The first thing he did was bring to his mind the form of God, the form of Sri Ramchandra. And it is a lesson for all of us that when we go into endeavors of any kind, remember, at the start of a day, we are not sure what challenges will be thrown at us. So every day could actually potentially be a battle. So we ought to do like Angad and take the name of God with reverence at the start of a day. We have an easy formula. You know, the schools hand out easy formulas. So if you're hustling and you went to your puja room, okay, fine. As you bounce your starter, or as you go out to flag down a maxi and you sit in the maxi, this is the 9. Pravashi nagar ki jai sabakaja hriday rakhi kushal puraraja. And that is what Hanuman had used. Essentially it means, as I enter a new town, a new village, my workplace, may I get victory. And to endorse and support that victory, I bring to my mind the form of Ram with bow and arrow as the great protector in his hand. Simple line to learn. And that's a daily line to use, as shown here by Angad. And as we fast track, he's going to be successful in his mission. So it wasn't a vacuous statement. It had metal in it. So we ought to copy that. Further, Simha Tavani ita utachtai dhira vida balapunj. As Angad walked in, he didn't walk in shy, you know. He walked in like a lion among men, and he looked from side to side. Remember, he is in the parliament of Ravan. Ravan, who had subdued all the celestials at that point in time. Indra Dev come down. But fearless Angad walked in, and he looked from side to side. And Tulsidas comments, Dhira Veera Balapunj. And the reason why he could have walked like that, because he had dhirta, he had faith, he had firmness. He didn't have fake. He had firmness. And how does that come? It comes by our own resolve. You have to have the willpower, but also you have to ask God to put a little hand. And there's a technique here which we are sure was adopted by Angad. When we start a journey, like for instance, we start a journey on a daily basis. It could be a child, a student, an elderly person, a retiree, you're going to run the summit run. There are certain deities and certain names of deities we should take lovingly and with devotion to guide us through our journeys. For instance, if you're coming from south to north, Ganesh Baba is Pratham Puj, that God to be worshipped first. His name, his favorite name as you go to the north of any land is Krishna Syam Shaya. Om Shri Krishna Syam Shaya Namaha. Short mantra. So you get Ganesh, you call him his pet name for the direction. Saraswati Mata, because wherever you're going to have to engage in speech and dialogue, you want the words to be effective and sweet. So her favorite line for the north, Om Aim Shrim Klim Gadya Vasanyai Namaha. And this is the technique Angad is laying down that brings dhirta, it enhances the resolve to go forward to, because we have the blessings of the deities to protect us from any mishaps, etc. Or even if there are little mishaps here and there, we can survive the battle. And taking a page out of the mannerisms of Angad, we go further as we hear in Chaupai. Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama Jaya. Now our line going to threaten you, you know. A line in Ramayana says, Jo nahi kahi Ram gunagana, ji haso daru ji hasamana. If you take the name of God, you go born in the next life with the tongue of a frog. So join me, I'm struggling here. I had no chorus. Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Gayau Sabhamana Nekunamura, Jai Ram Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Bali Tanaya Ati Bala Bakura, Ute Sabhasara Kapi Kaha Dekhi, Ravana Urabha Krodha Visekhi, Jai Ram Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Gayau Sabhamana Nekunamura Bali Tanai Atibal Bakura. He was an ambassador who was very clever. That's why Suriname Chandra chose him. You don't put square peg in wrong hole. Not because they lobby when he was being elected, you had to give him a post. There's room for everybody. But don't put square pegs in wrong hole. And so Suriname was selective in choosing a clever envoy, one with faith, one with a certain amount of skill set, that he could start in the chamber of Ravan and not be fearful. Uthe sabhasara kapi kaha dekhi, Ravana urbha krodha visekhi. You know, when Angad walked in, everybody stand up, excluding Ravan. And that made Ravan upset, because they're showing respect. They were holding Angad, the enemy, in awe. And that didn't go down well with Ravan. Long ago, it used to be a practice when I went to school, that when the teacher walk in class, all the students will stand up. Now I think it's Kali Yuga. The students are sitting and the teacher will stand up. You know, no sort of adulation and respect for the teacher. But this was the aura of Angad. And how does one build such an aura? When we perform puja, it is 16 forms. A typical puja, you have 16 offerings you make to God. The first of that is Avahan, which we call God with love, with sincerity, with respect, to the little altar, to the Vedika, as the case may be. And that Avahan, that calling with bhakti, with devotion, is divided into two parts. The first part, Baba tell you, take a flower in your hand and concentrate on, let's say, it's Ganesh Baba or Sri Hanuman. Concentrate as I recite a mantra. So that is dhyan. But dhyan, and this has been proven scientifically by the Western world, when they examined the meditation aspects of the Buddhist monks, they found that there are 4 things that happen, 4 beneficial things or consequences of when we perform dhyan. The first, the blood pressure drops, which is good. The second, our oxygen consumption, you know, it drops too. That is also good. The third, the heart rate, it slows. But one thing increases, the alpha waves, your brain waves increase. So don't think puja is just about ritual and offering this and offering that, and Baba say do this and Baba say do that. Each step in puja, each undertaking, ceremonial undertaking in Hinduism is riddled with deep meaning. So that may Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, and we offer the flower, and we are concentrating on Bhagwan Ganesh. These are the 4 positive things can happen. And that is why, equipped in such a manner, Angad was able to walk into that, and his aura commanded the respect. of his opponents. We hear further as Chaupai goes on. Jai 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 Shri Rama, Jai 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 Shri Rama, Jai 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 Shri Rama, Jai 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 Shri Rama. Kah das kantha kavan tai bandar, मैं रघुवीर दूत दश कंधर, जय राम श्री राम। मम जन कही तो ही रही मिटाई, इतन हित कारण आयु भाई। जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। Kah dasakant kavantai bandar. So Ravan began his conversation. He wanted to ridicule Angad. He called him bandar. Bandar means monkey literally. And remember, Angad, Hanuman, Sugriv, etc. They were not monkeys. They were vanaras. Human beings adapted to forest life, not a monkey. I think we have done a lot of satsang about that, so let's not belabor the point. But Ravan was intent in ridiculing him, so he called him bandar. And Tulsidas was careful to point Dashakant. Remember, Ravan is said to have, proverbially speaking, 10 heads. Really it means the wisdom of 10 heads in one. So he says, Tulsidas, you mean you have the wisdom of 10 heads? And that's what you see in Angad? So it's a shot he hit Ravan there. And so Ravan says, May Raghuveer Duta Dashkandar. He asks Angad, who are you? Angad says, I am the ambassador, I am a devotee, a messenger of Shri Ram Chandra. Mama janakahi tohi rahi mitai. Angad says, and he continues, I understand there was a little friendship between my father and you. He's telling Ravan. Taba hitakaran ayu bhai. Brother, because you and my father had that kinship, I have come here in your interest. Now we'll move to our Chand to hear what kind of interest, who was really Angad. दास अपने कीजिए भज राम भज मन राम भज मन राम भज मन बावरी श्री कृष्ण भज मन कृष्ण भज मन कृष्ण भज मन बावरी. The father of Angad, who was Bali, on his dying bed, Sri Ram had struck him down because he was unjust to his brother Sugriv. And on his dying bed, the vile Bali admitted to Sri Ram, he says, Abanata kari karuna vilokahu dehu yaha varamango. It is said that you are all merciful, he's telling God. So I ask of you in my dying moments of a boon. Jehi jyoni janmahu karma vasataha ramapad anuragahu. I don't want to live this life again. I don't want to live a next life like this one. I want to have anurag, selfless love for your feet. And that can only happen because of karma vasha. Karma will dictate if we come back as a dusht, as a wicked person, or we come back as a bhakt, as a devoted person. It's our own actions. Bali says, I am prepared to revoke my bad actions in my next life. So give me a chance. He says, and further I ask of you, my Lord, Yahatanaya mama samabhinaya bala kalyana prabhulijaye. This son of mine, Angad, is equal to me in strength. Gahi baha surindara naha Angad das apne kiji. Don't let him follow my path. Don't let him follow my example. Hold him by the hand. If you have to grab him by the hand and make sure he follows you. This is the Angad we are talking about. Whose power and whose devotion to Ram was fostered, nurtured, and fertilized by no other than God himself. So obviously he was equipped to hold court with Ravan. We hear further in Chopai. Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama. Reka pipochana bola sambhari, mudha jane si mohi surari. Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Kahane janam janaka kar bhai, kihina te maniye mithai. Jai Ram Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jai Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. So Ravan asks, continues to interrogate Angad. Reka pipochna bola basambhari. Be careful with your mouth, because Angad is now sounding a little bit aggressive. He's losing patience. He came here with a mission to negotiate on behalf of Sri Ram with Ravan. And Ravan was, consumed with insults. So Angad, he raised his tone, and Ravan said, be careful, I am king of Lanka. You know who am I? Mudhana Janasi Mohisurari. I am the person who conquered Indra Dev when he liked. So, control your tongue. Kaha nija naam janak kar bhai. Ravan continues, you have mentioned your father. Kehinate manie mitai. What is the connection between your father and I? Well, that connection was at one point in time the father of Angad, Bali, was performing puja. One source says he was performing Tilanjali, libations to the ancestors. And Ravan came to tantalize him, and he locked Ravan under his arm and continued his Tilanjali for a protracted period of time. As if that was not enough, when he was through, Bali took Ravan, carried him home, and pitched him straight in the playpen where Angad was. And then that is where World Cup soccer starts. Angad boots him one corner. That's the Ravan we're talking about. Angad boots him from why? Because Yahatanaya Mama Sama Binaya Bala. Angad, his father declared this fellow equal to me in strength. So Ravan was no match. Angad could have taken out Ravan without any question, but he was stuck to duty. He was an envoy to negotiate. And so when Ravan heard the name of Bali, he became a little uneasy now. He was uneasy because it brought back memories. At the same time, Tulsidas says, don't underestimate Ravan. Ravan had to have the conversation and dialogue with whom? With God incarnate in the form of Ram. That to take that kind of time of the Supreme means that you had to have substance, yes. When Ravan performed puja to Bhagwan Shiva before he got his boons, he would sit in tapasya. He would light 5 fires, Panchagni, around him, which will create heat, which is supposed to make one uncomfortable. And because of his austere penance, that was just a test, the heat. The heat did not shift in his worship to Bhagwan Shiva. And we, as you had the air condition breakdown, we in the puja room, and the air condition breakdown, and theatre cut the current, and no breeze are blowing. We forget Shiva, we forget Hanuman, they urge in, and we bust out the puja room as fast as we can. Tapasya is when we put up with certain physical discomforts, but we don't waver from our worship. And that was mastered by Ravan. Further to that, it is said there's a human being, there are 5 actions which they call yagyas that we should, or it's be mandated to participate in. So I should really, if I had a singer here, I would let them sing a bhajan to give it time to take a sheet of paper and drop a box or a margin with 19 boxes. Because 5 of the 19 coming up here, what we sing, with Tulsidas saying, you're good with that, tick it off. And if you miss out 1 box, then in next life you're not coming back as a human being. So let me start. The first action we should get involved in is yagya. We conceptualize yagya. You have a tent, you have nice roti, curry, etc. And you have somebody on a singhasan bakin, talking, and then on attempt to narrate katha, and you have havan going on before that. That is the yagya. The yagya, the recitation, narration from a singhasan is just whipping on the ice cream. The yagya is the havan being performed with structured mantras. So if we can get ourselves, whenever a yagya is being done, and participate, if it's even once, you could tick that box. Because in that yagya, a clever pandit will know the certain incantations, the Vedic incantations of the various deities as we make oblations. So we could tick that box. Also, in that yagya, there is Rishi yagya. You can take the names of Kashyap, Atri, Vasishta, Vishwamitra, Bharadwaj, Jamdagni, Gautam, Bhrigu, Narad, Sanak, Sanatan, Sanansanmar. These are selected sages and saints, and we make oblations to that. Because they are the scientists, they are the philosophers, they are the economists in this age, especially the first 7 I called. So we give thanks to them. So that is 2 yagya. That is 2 boxes you could tick that, because I participate. And these mantras were being recited. I didn't say, Tulsidas didn't say just participate in yagya. It have to have these names there. then we could tick that box. Then next life, I have a good chance, 40% chance I will come back as a human being. Let me see if we could get the full 100%. Now, the third one is Bhut Yagya. To take care of God's creation. Feed, you have domesticated animals, little parrot, dog, etc. Take care of them. That's a Yagya. You're helping to take care of God's creation. Right? That's the third one. And better yet, if you could be instrumental in feeding cows. Give the farmer a little donation to feed the cows. So that's the third Yagya. The fourth Yagya is Atithi Yagya. A worthwhile, destitute guest comes at your doorway and there's in dire need, whether we give a little donate some money, give a little morsel of food, whatever, in that form, we help a needy soul. That is a Yagya. And the fifth one is Shrad. What people say is dead people walk. People illiterate, That's a Yagya, that's Shrad. And, we say, well, Baba, how much Shrad I have to do? Well, it's how grateful you are to your father and your mother. Do so much. If you're quick to finish it, Baba, after the 1 year, we have anything else to do? Well, don't do nothing else. That's the attitude, don't do anything else. Then that box will remain open. Because Shrad is not a one and done, The rites of passage means that we must, when one has passed on, offer 6 pindars on the cremation day, offer 10 pindars on the Dasgath, on the shaving day, offer 16 pindars on the Bandara day. And that will give us 32, and we have to do 48 for the rites of passage. So when the yearly Bandara come, we finish that rites of passage. If we profess to love mother, father, brother, uncle, etc., it's done on the 1 lunar year after. So that is mandatory. Don't tick that box. That's your duty. Tick the box now that when subsequent Pitripaksh come, or when subsequent new moon come, at some point, at least once a year, man, you have Pitripaksh, tailor-made for Shrad. Perform Shrad. Then and only then, tick that box. If you're considered dead people walk, and it's impure, and so forth, don't take it. And see if next time your eyes go past you as a human being. So, Ravan, believe it or not, when we ask why the color white should be worn in Shrad, it's Ravan who corrected that and who made that statement and corrected another deity who was doing Shrad without the wrong colors. So don't underestimate Ravan. That is why he engaged Shri Ram Chandra for 14 long years and counting. And because of the substance he was made of, Angad was the only person qualified to have court, to hold court, because equally Angad had ticked all those boxes to the hilt. We hear further in the Doha.
चौपट करि तब गाव मंदोदरी समेत शठ जनक सुत ही लई जाओ तो ही पथ की मही से नहती चौपट करि तब गाव मंदोदरी समेत शठ सुत ही लई जाओ हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा
conversation got heated because Ravan had to defend his pride. And there was Angad adamant that I have come here to negotiate. And a negotiator, an ambassador, has 4 guiding principles. There is Psalm. You must have discussion with the other side. Here are 2 sides of the coin. So Angad tried that. Ravan was absorbed in his pride. It didn't work. Dan, Angad decided, well, my next project is to give in a quota. You know, in negotiating, you have to give up something, and the other side will give up something. So like husband and wife have the Mahabharat war. Husband had to let go the remote now when you're using it. Don't hold it on and sleep with it. Then the wife see a little movie too. So it have dance. So Angad is making preparation to do that second part. Tulsidas ji comments that, okay, we understand Ravan's mettle, why he engaged Ram. How come Angad engaging Ravan now? Because Angad, are due to a messenger of God. If we are fully, if one is a messenger of God, sometimes the wise people don't need the presence of God, just need the messenger, true messenger of God. And that is how he does his magic, He sends a messenger before us to help us, to inspire us. When Lankini was struck down, she was a female guard of Lanka. She was struck down by Hanuman. And because of that, remember she was a guard, and Hanuman didn't beat up no female. She came in the position as a guard. When she was struck down, it was told by Brahma that the day you see her get struck down by anyone, you are so powerful, then you will give up this Rakshas form. And what did she say? Tata Mora Ati Punya Bahuta Dekhe Unayan Ram Kraduta. I don't need God. The messenger of God fixed me to suit. So don't ever underestimate the messenger of God. Shri Ram his own lips told Siri Saptam Sabamo Himai Jagadekhe Mote Sant Adhik Karlekhe. See me in everybody, says God, but more so in the Sant and the holy person, because they are the living examples, the custodians of knowledge that will help you and me. So Angad had what it takes to now engage Ravan. So in that sheet, that hypothetical sheet, I told everyone to drop, I tell you put in 19 boxes. So the first 5 boxes we should be debating, I take all, or I need to do a little something here and there so that I'll come back to human form. But take care, we are not a living dead. And Ravan is being told in the upcoming Chaupai about those 14 boxes. Angad is talking to Ravan, he's talking to you and me. We'll hear in the Chaupai.
Jau asakara unatara vibarai muyahi vadhe kachu nahi manusai. Ram 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 bolo, Ram Ram Ram, Ram 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 bolo, Ram Ram Ram. Kaula kama vasha kripa navimudha ati daridra ayashi ati buddha. Jai Ram Sri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Jaya Rama.
Jau asakarun tarapi barai mohi vadhe kachu nahi manusai. You are tempting me, O Ravan, to cross my bounds. I could take you out, but then the world wouldn't talk good about me. Because what is the sense to kill somebody who is already a living dead? It had no fame in that. It had no barai, no greatness in that. No valor in that. And Uncle says for there are 14 types of living dead. So you know we there boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo crying because such and such has passed on. That is understood. But don't get drowned in grief because we just established, hopefully in the beginning, that the body, you know, that person is eternal. And eternal to the extent that sometimes in times of trial, in times of need, their presence will be felt. How is that possible? Well, let's discuss briefly the Suksham Sharid. When somebody passes on, the form that is remaining. It has 17 faculties. It has the 5 senses of perception. So they can see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. So they are Ankara, which our needs, as far as the senses of perception is concerned, are concerned. Then there are the 5 senses of action, the karmendriyas. Speech, use of the hands, use of the feet, genitals and bowels. Then there are the 5 airs. This is the same Suksham Sharid, mind you, that is eternal. The 5 airs, we only know about breathing in oxygen, expelling carbon dioxide, but there are 5 airs, A-I-R-S, that pervade the body for its proper functioning. So that is 15 qualities. 16 is buddhi. Yes, that was my daughter, that was my wife, that's my grandchild. The knowledge base is there. You're not a stranger. They're in a different form, but you're not a stranger. And then intellect, that which I could not have seen and protected from. Now I'm in a position, I have the intellect to take care of them. So in times of need, they are there. Then the question, it begs the question, well, if we are saying that after a year they reincarnate, for instance, my father and my mother, long time now they have passed on. God bless their souls. So they have reincarnated. So what is the sense I get up on a new moon and offer Tilanjali? What is the sense Baba tell you do Shrad? Because they're in another form. Well, yes, they're in another form. But there are 4 states of consciousness. There is awake, Jagran, we be awake. Then we go into bed tonight. There is Swapna, sleep. Then you have Sushupti. There is deep sleep. That's the time you dream, oh boy, like I climbing a mountain. I was seeing snow. I was in a deep part of the ocean. It happened. It happened. But you only have snatches of it when you get up in the morning. That's deep sleep. And then there's that 4th high stage, Turiya, which the sages and saints, them that's be merging with God. Instead of we going bathing in the river and thing in deep sleep, them going with God. But let's take back deep sleep. That's reverse. So it's in deep sleep when Ma and Pa, or I used to call my father Baba, when I do my little Tilanjali on a new moon, when I offer my Pinda on a Shrad, who keeps it? Aryama. A projection of Surjnai known as Aryama. He will keep it. And when they might be awake, I might be offering now my father awake, wherever he is. But when he goes into sleep, and deep sleep, Aryama is there. Look, your son offered this. So you could connect the dots. It's not done in vain. There's a connection. And the Pindadan, you just hear all kind of riddles. You see, when you're not matriculated in Sanskrit, you just tell the judgment, do all kind of things. The body is divided into 10 parts. We ain't had the time, this is not the forum, but a word to the wise is sufficient. So your first 10 pindas is for the body in a Shrad. Okay, so let's say my father passed away, Pichupaksh coming up, my mother passed away, I go and do Shrad. Regular thing. But the first 10 offerings is for the body, starting with the head. That mantra tells you, when you offer the pinda, they will come back with a fully functional head, with proper eyes, nose, etc. And so you're going down the body. The last one is all the connective tissue. You identify organs, etc. Hair, nails, and things. The last one is everything that I miss out. The last one, it will come back fully functional. Then your arcs is 16 pindas. Your arcs at 6 projection of certain deities, go with them wherever they are. First one is Brahma. That when Baba born back, he'll be creative. He'll not be a dinosaur. Because I asking Brahma to lend his creative power to him. Then I go to Vishnu Bhagwan, Pinda number 12. That wherever he is, he will not be out of, he will have a morsel of food. Because Vishnu is the sustainer. Then I go to the 13th Pinda of the 16. I go to Bhagwan Shiva. That, we all have our transgressions and make our missteps, but may Bhagwan Shiva dissolve those and not let it overtake his life. Then you come to the 14th Pinda. The sun is responsible for life. Man, animal, plant, whatever. So I ask that Surjnai, wherever Baba born back, will be there to be present to sustain life. The 15 Pinda, that Yamraj, that when he is born, wherever he is born, and he is going to die and reborn, I asked the Yamraj, the 15 Pinda, the God of justice, give him his just due. In other words, all this redress I am making, that where I offer a Pinda premise that is saying so and so, I ask Yamraj to accept, so that all his little missteps and so forth get ironed out. A lot of it get ironed out because I call on Yamraj that he can't do it, but I offer it on his behalf. And the 16 Pinda is for Aryama, the one who will be the liaison officer between us and the ancestors. It are no 17, 24, 21, 11, 13. If you can't read Sanskrit, that's not my fault. It says 16 Pinda. And when it has to be done, on a new moon day, because if we twist our ankle and have an orthopedics man on the corner day, and he visiting hours is Thursdays, or visiting days is Thursdays, go Friday now. But nah, convenience is a hell of a thing, you know. Baba, weekend, everybody home, so we go do it. Well, go ahead, each special Sunday, go on offer what you want to offer. We so, you know, so lacking in application. And, you know, it's done on a new day, and then in Pitri Paksh, you have a full run. Of 15 days, you can do any day. Any day. You know? If you can't carry to the level of a shroud, no problem in that. Leave it for Pitri Paksh time. But during the year, you dream dad, or you dream your husband and so forth, dream your wife, etc., who have passed on, get up and do a little engineer, man. That taking you, listen, that taking you a minute. Wash some white rice 3 times the night before put it down there. You get up in the morning, take your white rice, take a nice little bowl, put some black till, and you go on by your kush grass. Tie not, let me say it's your father, your mother. Mama pitri step pitam dam tilanjali swadhan. You're doing 3 handful of that. Bow, you're done. And I will hold the fort. What is so difficult? What is the rocket science in not ticking that 5th box to give libations to the ancestors that will guarantee us to become a human being? God alone knows. So Angad says, coming down to the other 14 box, you, Ravan, is a living dead. But don't study Ravan. I want you to tick and see if we tick in all the boxes. You know, so the first one, Kaul. Kaul means everybody who has sacrificed animal is a living dead. You know, Kali worshippers, but I don't want to call them worshippers, you know. The foolish Kali people, and I quote in our Bhagavad Puran here, they believe in Bhagavad. Here what the first chapter of the Bhagavad says, Pashu hinaha krita yagyaha. Pashu is an animal, hin, do offer. Do offer animal to Kali. Where you're offering hog, dog, goat, and calling that puja. You didn't read? So if we involve in them kind of actions, you're sacrificing life, then you're a living dead. Because where that going to take us at the end of the day? What part we really treading if we do it like that? You know my godfather was a master writer, Pandit Mahesh Maharaj, and I go just, me and no singer, I go just give you 2 lines and hear what you say about killing animal and eating up your meat.
गंगा के नहाए से, गंगा के नहाए से कवन नर तरी गया, कवन नर तरी गया, कवन नर तरी गया, मेघावान तरे जागी, मेघावान तरे जागी, गंगा ही में कंठी के बांधे से, कंठी के बांधे से का ज्ञान तरे जाके जलहीन हर है। जोई नर दयावंत, जोई नर दयावंत, सोई नर नर है, सोई नर नर है।
So it says, कंठी के बांधे से कवन नर तरी गए. If you think taking a kanthi, you know them sadhu and sadhwain, you do little bobine that's wrap around the neck and observe certain vows. If that make you a sadhu, just observing the vows and not checking your lifestyle and your eating habits, then the bull is a bigger sadhu than you because he have a yoke. If shaving your head make you a sadhu, then the sheep of Australia, their head don't shave alone, they're shorn, the whole body is shorn of its wool, the entire body is shaved, then he is a mahasadhu. It's the amount of daya we have, the amount of compassion make we a sadhu or a sadhwain. So go ahead and eat the chicken, and eat the Kentucky, and eat the Royal Castle, but just let me take you back. Before the chicken reach the poultry, watch him, be like a slave ship. We just complain about how they bring me down from Calcutta, and they pack you up like sardine. But we take other people's children and we cram them worse than sardine and put them in the truck in the hot sun and go down the road. Wait till they go in Mandir. They go by the poultry. So when they go by the poultry, you know, you'll be as quick as, Baba, I buy it in Hilo, you know, my me know about all that. Well, here we buy Hilo now. Do buy Hilo, buy the local grocery, Pasar and so forth, the Food King. Yeah. So when it reached the poultry, give me a 2 pound, you know, they weigh out 2 pound or 3 pound or how much. And so they take it. And what they do? They take a knife and they cut its throat. Now mind you, that chicken is a mother or a daughter, you know. You ever mind fowl? When you're minding fowl or you watch your neighbor how there's mind fowl, and they get up in the morning, the hen might get a little whatever, little insect, and you think he go back or she go back, she put it down there. And the chick does start to eat. Just so we do as parents, you know. And mother and father go bang their belly, but make sure the children get full food. So don't tell me about the difference between animal and man. Them have family too, so we cut it short now. We carry a child by the baba or by the hairdresser and he's shaking a bit, and you know, you're there over, you're pouring over the baba. What you think, babs? You're a little chantal, don't mind the chippy ears, but you allow somebody to take a knife and slit the entire throat of somebody's child. And you had daya. As a Hindu boy. As a Hindu. And so, that was do that enough, they take him and put him in hot water. Leave him in hot water. And if that ain't enough, they can pluck the machine, tuck, and they defer him. And then, you know, we buy it and say, well, you know, Babs, I didn't do all that. Yeah, but you're auxiliary to the crime. Go in the court alone. If you kidnap somebody and you was the driver, they carry you down the road too. You're auxiliary to the crime. Where the compassion? Then that will entitle one to wear a kanti. Then that will entitle to shave your head. If you so wish. It's the amount of compassion we have. Don't call yourself a Hindu. When you see have a form come, and you're a chicken eater or meat eater, that's all right. Eat what you want. Eat hog, dog, and everything. But don't put on the form Hindu. Because your Hindu means himsa dur hona. Dur hona, to stay away from himsa, violence. That's violent acts upon God's creation. Whom we just tell you that to take care of God's creation, not destroy them. So all those, you know, who eat what they want, rub off, erase that box where you take. You're taking God's, you just feed the dog, you just feed Rover, you know, and all that. You just feed Rover and you're licking up Kentucky left, right, and center. That is not me. I told you that, and you don't take that box. So Angad says that's the first type of living dead. The second type of living dead is kamavash. You're in a relationship, but you're looking your eye outside now. So your whole life spent, I was in the office, I was so-and-so, you only studying how to make excuse for Dulahin home or whether it's Dulahin or Dulaha, whoever. You only study make, so your whole life consumed with a lie, a set of lie, concocting lies. Then when you have time for God, when you reach in front of your room, you had to bend your head because you're trying to praise God and you're doing the wrong thing and you know that. So that is a living dead who get involved in extramarital relationships. And it don't happen just so, you know. First of all, there's a breakdown in communication between husband and wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend, as the case be. You know, learn to communicate. Baba, I don't talk much, you know. Yeah, but if you're in pain, boy, Panadol work, bring aspirin. You know how to say things clear, but when it comes to communicating, you do hen or your spouse, you can't communicate. Rubbish. The third type of living dead, kripan, a miser. You know, one time, our shopkeeper became very wealthy, but he was mingy too bad. You know, he was so stingy. His wife, the name Millicent, he used to call she Millie to save the cent. First she did stingy. And the wife begged him, oh God, one day after you did some ghee. He said, ghee? Ghee is Mr. Ghee. Ghee? She begged. He said, okay, Sunday coming, you allow a teaspoon of ghee inside the dal. Man, she couldn't wait for Tuesday to come. So shop closed, meal prepared. As they sit down to eat, a fly falls straight inside the dal. She said, what is my luck? You know, look at fly fall. So she take out the bowl and go to a straight away. Man, he grabs her hand. He said, what's wrong with you? You see anybody here? She said, no. He said, give me the fly. He take the fly and he suck out all the ghee and he pitch it away. We could say, look, now ghee there, now we could eat. The word for fly is makhi. And just like we will suck a mango, choose, makhi choose. When you reach that level of miserliness, you are living dead. You only studying how to cut here. When you have time for God. Fourth type of living dead, vimudha, meaning a stupid person. When someone passes, as they pass, the soul, which we spoke about, remains close to the body. So cremation time comes, and the soul is still outside, and we dispose of the body, the ash, and that soul now will hover around home, a divine form. You're going to say, well, Baba, he pulled me to last night. Listen, a suksham shari don't go on the shelter. That's why I tell you, create a little, buy a mango tree or something, put a little deer there, and light it. He or she there. So for 10 days, he or she is there. 10 days come, now we're going shaving. From that point in time, the soul leaves and go to all the places it wants to go to, pilgrimages, etc. And then if you're a Brahman, he will come back on the 12th day. If you're a Kshatri, he'll come back on the 13th day. If you're a Vaishya, he'll come back on the 16th day. If you're a Shudra, he'll come back on the 24th day. For what? For your last tapinda, to keep him sustained while he's going to spend holidays with his ancestors for 1 year. What happening now? They cremated today, shaving is tomorrow, and Bhandara is the next day. So Pa and Ma bend backwards to bring you up. Make sure you was not out of a meal. Ma breaks your seat, get up and nurse you, or give you a bottle on time, and nimakaram. One day, you couldn't feed them on the correct time. I had to tell you the kind of shrap you go collect for that. So, Angad says that is the fourth type of living dead who dotish. Dotish that level, where we're not following the tenets of Sanatana Dharma. The fifth type of living dead, Ati Daridra, very poor. Yes, when you meet somebody who's destitute, you can't really tell he or she about God. This is something where the next meal come from, where they'll provide for the family. But worse than that is being spiritually poor. Everybody know Chalisa. Shri Guru Charana Sarojara Nijaman Mukursudal Barno Ragbar Bimalasha Jodayak Pilchad Buddhi Hinatan Janike Sumirapon Kumar Balabudhi Vidyade Humi Haru Klish Vikar Baba dieting man. Okay, we pause. We go in Maracas. You stop on the lookout. You eating pine chow, orange chow, mango chow, tulum, everything. They're good. So you're well bakosi. Your stomach going so, and you have a set of hill to go wrong. You vomit when you reach the end. Me, I ring my ears. Me going back there. Here what you do. Your own shortcomings. The beautiful Maracas, the lovely journey, the scenic journey. You're blaming that for your own shortcomings. Hanuman Baba, Harahu Klesh Vikar. What's Vikar? Hanuman Baba does not allow you to get scarred for nonsense. I ain't going to do this, and I ain't doing that, and not me in this, and not me in that. That is your own I in the equation. You go to Hanuman, next time you say Chalisa, Haruhu Klesh Vikad Prabhu, Hanuman Baba, have mercy on me. I don't want to be scarred or allow myself to be debarred from certain activities that could be beneficial because of my own I-ness, my ahamkar. So the fifth type of living dead is if you're spiritually poor, if you're there reciting Chalisa like a mantra or like a poem now, and we understand what we're seeing. That is the sixth type of living dead. The sixth type of living dead is Ayashi. Children must understand that you have to live to the ideals of a lineage, of a dynasty. If you name Ram Prasad, you wasn't the first Ram Prasad. That was your great-great-grandfather, whoever. You didn't own that. You'll be part of that, so uphold the legacy. And don't get involved in nefarious activity. You commit a felony, they jail you, or whatever. 2 generations on, hey, there's Ram Prasad, jailbird Ram Prasad grandson. So you get an extra name, jailbird. You know, we have to be cautious, careful, frugal with our actions because it could leave a stain. And if we leave a stain, then no matter how much sadhu or sadhwine the grandson or the granddaughter come, like jailbird sadhu. You know? So that's a living dead. You're toting things that you didn't invent. 7th type of living dead, Ati Buddha. You have become old. Now this body is a machine, you know. Where you used to run 100 meters, now you're walking and you can't to walk. You know, the body is a machine now, it's going down. But worse than that is that you're rare. I had to say rare because it's rare animal. You rear 10 daughters and 5 sons. And you just want to go and come and hear a little satsang. I'm busy today, you know. I had this to do, that. I had that to do. And sometimes when they do accede to carry you, it looks like they're under strain. Then, you know, age becomes a bitter. You know, what's the sense of going to satsang? When my whole mindset change. But also, it have a thing about old age. We have to understand, yeah, the body is a machine and so forth. But you see, if you take the words, the letters A to Z, and you put A is 1, B is 2, and you go to the road, you'll get 26, right? If you say, man, dice my luck, well, check up. Take L-U-C-K, and that table, you'll get 47. You say, Baba, if I had money, that would solve my problem. Add up, M-O-N-E-Y, you'll get 72. Try attitude. Attitude will give you 100. A-T-T-I-T-U-D will give you 100. It's your attitude. It's not the age, you know. It's not the machine, you know. It's your attitude to the aging process. Angad says, but if we allow these things to invade, then age becomes like a living dead. We hear for the chopai. So that is 7 of the last 14 box. So if you know, we dies me and you take a box, tomorrow morning, after Rahukal finish about 8:45, ask your boss for time off, or write the child an excuse from school, let them go down by DAS and take a measurement because you're a living dead. You know, don't go to school, don't work again, you're a living dead. So make sure if we don't tick these boxes, we hear the other 7.
सदारोगवश संतत क्रोधी विष्णु विमुख श्रुति संत विरोधी तनु पोषक निंदक अघखानी जीवत शव सम 14 प्राणी जीवत शव सम 14 प्राणी सीताराम सीताराम राधे श्याम 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 सीताराम सीताराम राधे श्याम 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 बन से आए हे राम 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 सीताराम सीताराम राधे श्याम 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 सीताराम सीताराम राधे श्याम श्याम श्याम.
Sada Rogavash, the 8th type of living dead, you're always sick. Somebody meet you, how you going? How the grandchildren going? What do you do now? Baba, before we go to the arthritis bothering me, the sugar high, the pressure high. Next week you see them, how you going? Baba, the pressure dropped, but the sugar gone high. I was in hospital for 2 days, you know. So your whole mantra is Sada Rog. You only, you know, your your axis of your life is disease. You know what Tulsidas, she says? Dharmartha kama mokshanam arogyam mulakaranam. The four fruits of our human existence, they are artha. You know, have material gains, work towards material gains, because it puts you and your family in a comfort zone. So that is one of the fruits of a human existence. Dharma, have religious merit. Go a little temple, go a little mosque, go a little church, as the case may be, depending on what our persuasion is. That's the second of the four fruits of life. Then karma, realize ambitions. You want to be a teacher, you want to be the best teacher. You want to be an engineer, be the best engineer. You want to be a plumber, be the best plumber. But realize, work towards realizing one's ambition. And the fourth fruit of human existence is moksha. Not only about liberating from the here to the hereafter, but the shackles that keep us tied down and enchained in this life. You know what people come satsang today because of rain? But tell them Arisha Maru was here now, free of charge. Man, we'd have put more chair. So, this is the chains we just chain up yourself with now. And then what happened? Who lost? The roads of Tulsidas and Angad went down here. And some people here realize that they have to do a little stock inventory of their lives. Why? Because moksha, the failure to release ourselves from the shackles of life. So Angad says there's the 8th type of living dead. You only sing the mantra of sick, sick, sick. The 9th type of living dead is Santa Krodhi. You're always angry. Ram told Lakshman, Khojata katahu milahine dhuri, karai krodha dharma idhuri. He says, Lakshman, the rain has fallen, and all the pathways now are cleared of any type of dust. So too is a person, that if they become angry, it clears the dust. In this case is dharma. All the good actions we have performed comes to zilch, come null and void if we get in a tantrum and anger. Because, you know, we have near and dear ones, and if for whatever reason we throw a tantrum, those near and dear ones will still be nice and civil to us. But that deep connect that we shared with them would have been severed, all because of anger. So a person who, you know, blood close to the skin and allowing decisions to be made out of emotions like anger, such a person is a living dead, because you are destroying the bridges that you built before. Living dead number 10, Vishnu Vimukh, meaning that one who is averse to following the teachings of God. When you come to satsang, when you go to satsang, it's about recipes, you know. It's about how we will learn how to survive, how to maneuver. In the case of one's sustenance, is Vishnu Bhagwan one goes to. And the Ashtakshar mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, short but effective mantra. That is the 8-syllable, the revered 8-syllable mantra that woos Bhagwan Vishnu's sustainer. If you do that with implicit love and faith, then we will never be out of whether it's food, shelter, or clothing. That's a recipe, taking that mantra. If we are averse to that, says Angad, the ambassador Angad, then really and truly we are living dead. Because if your sustenance is taken away, obviously you're going to die. Living dead number 10, Shruti Santa Virodhi, that even the holy books and the sages and saints, we might not be fortunate to have the presence of God even in a dream, but we have the sages and saints and the books that are left behind with these recipes. The mandate of man, we all have part and parcel of God, says all books. And we have the soul, or what they call it, Jeev, inside of everybody. But our mandate is to get that Jeev to become an Atma, to really identify with the part and parcel of God, which is Paramatma, that we are supposed to live like, not like animals, but like divine beings. And for that process to take place, it is written in the Shrutis. The sons have declared that the only medium, or the divine medium, to help to convert this Jeev, like God, to the Atma, is the form of Shiva known as Ishan Dev. In that five-faced Shivlingam, the northeastern face is Ishan. So, by extension, the daily prayer should adhere to the injunctions of the holy books, which will help us to connect, to convert this Jeev into an Atma by a simple mantra, Om Shri Ishanaya Namaha, facing towards the northeast. These are recipes. Angad says, if we don't follow these recipes, in this case, the Jeev will remain a Jeev. You will remain an individual soul. And that cycle of birth and death will come with apparently no express relief. Living Dead, number 13, 8, 9, 10, 11. Number 12, sorry. Tanu Poshak. We only sing about yourself. Most times, nobody has to say about your family, you know. Sure, that is priority. But one's life cannot be rotating from birth to death. Only about my family. You know, I have enough here for the children to live. I have a piece of land there that they go build when they get. Oh, that is fine. That is understood. But life can't be. The attention can't be only for self. It has to have a bit of empathy for those who we are in a position to help. Take time off. You know, join in some feeding program. Take time off. Propagate where satsang and yag is going on. Take time off for these things. Don't be selfish. Be selfless. Because if we are selfish, at the end of the day, did we help God in His work? His work is not only to attend to my family, you know. His work is to attend to all families. Did we step out of our crease and help a singular family? Did we help God in His work? Then Angad says, you are living dead. If you couldn't help God in your work, you had to be a living dead. Living dead, number 13, Nindak. To, you know, to dampen people's spirits. You have some people like the Grim Reaper. You have like satsang going on here. You say, nah, Kabita, you should have do this and you should have do that. Always have things to say that are negative. What do we do? Tulsidasji says that such people, Nindak, you in the process of destroying a good cause, you destroy a person's spirit now, the goodwill. And when you do that, if we just said earlier that the goodwill of a person is his soul, you have actually interfered with God. Then you are living dead. From the time you start to challenge God, you are living dead. And living dead, number 14, Agakhani. Aga is sin. Sin in Hinduism, as we often said, but worth repeating. Sin is when we create a little pain and discomfort, not only to our fellow man, but to the environment also. So you see the child who ain't comfortable with the parent, because the parent tell him do so and so. Or the worker who ain't comfortable with the supervisor, give them sage and good advice in a nice way. If we're not comfortable by Guru, tell each other, look, it should be so in a nice way. Then at the end of the day, we answer back. We have a way people just lose their voice, you know. Also when Dolahin tell you things that you are too like, you just get so truth. You just hardly see you're telling me that. You have, so there's all of a sudden you see the child stop talking. They're talking in syllables. Or the husband and wife, the little tiff, the wife go tell you, put your food there, and she go and she be. Whereas you normally sit down and coax him or you take a mouthful of tuna. So this is causing pain and hurt. We have to be careful how we treat the people. Because that is sin. And Angad Maharaj says, sin is what's the dictate, as Bali had said earlier, where how we come back and what we come back as. And these other 7 boxes, make sure if we have a tick there that we like that, rub it off. Make concerted efforts to rub it off. It is said that consider your karma, your action like a loan. But it will come, all loaners come with interest, you know. So you make your mother or father uncomfortable, they go come back with interest. You too go be uncomfortable by your own sibling or whoever, whomsoever dependent upon you. But they go come, they go hurt you more. Saint Tulsidas says, or Angad says rather, make sure we are not any of these. Ravan, you are all packed into one package chaupai.
जो मम चरण सकसी शततारी फिर ही राम सीता में हारी राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सुनहु सुभत सब कहा दश शीशा पर गही धनी पछा रहु कीशा जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम
As we wind up Katha, so Angad, the four tools of an ambassador's pointed out before was Sam, that field, discussion. Then it was done, he was able to, negotiate a quota with Ravan, that field. Then there is Dand, where we'll have to go to war. You don't want to release Sita Devi, you're going to war. I promise you we're going to war. And there's Bhed, that after the war, there'll be irreconcilable differences that we'll work around. And so said, so done. Because when Lanka and the army of Ravana was destroyed, Vibhishan was enthroned king of Lanka. And the relationship still continued. Never was Vibhishan, though he was the half-brother of Ravana, tagged with a label that you come from that dynasty. Never. There was reconciliation of what actually took place. Ravan began reviling Ram, and that got Angad angry, and he planted his foot down on the ground. And when he planted his foot on the ground, he says, I challenge you. If any of the soldiers here could move this foot, then I'll consider Sita Devi a lost wager and return to Ram Chandraji. Ravan glad at that. Sunahu sabat sava kaha dashisha paragahi dharani pacharahu kisha. He said, he told all his soldiers, including his son Meghnad, all to run and the only move foot, pitch him on the ground. And all that they try, it couldn't come to pass because of implicit faith, regardless of the challenges. Once we stand on the ground of principle, nothing can destroy us. As we hear in our final Doha.
Bhumi paratna charata dekhat ripu mar bhar koti vigna jimi santa kaha तरपीनी तीन त्याग सियापति रामचंद्र की जय उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय वृंदावन कृष्ण चंद्र की जय उरेसा जगन्नाथ की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियापति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम भूमि न छारत कपि चरना देखत रिपु पर मर भाग.
Not only Angad's strength, his foot was planted in the earth. And it is Prithvi Mata who had first begged that Ram come on earth to destroy Ravan. You think she going to let go the foot of Ravan? That there will be no battle? If Angad says, I'll return Sita, then there'll be no battle. And so she held on to the foot. And further that, Prithvi Mata is upheld by the proverbial 1,000-headed serpent known as Sheshnag, who is a projection of Shiva. And Shiva was just anxious to recall the gift of Ravan, but he couldn't. The boon of Ravan, he couldn't. But as Sheshnag, he would hold that foot, so they couldn't move the foot. Koti vigna jimi santa kaha therapy, niti nahitiag, a holy person, a good person, no matter what fire they've been put through, they don't budge. Which reminds us, are we corn? Are we cassava? Or are we coffee? Which we really are? You see, corn is a soft thing. You take the kernel and you feel it soft. And you roast it. That same corn come hard, It might crack your teeth. And on the other hand, you have cassava that hard like rock. And when you boil it, especially if my sister boil it, right? Man, it gets soft, soft, soft. And you have coffee. When you heat up the coffee, some things has happened. But let me retrace now. What about the corn? It have people as corn, They're soft and nice. How you going, boy, bye. And the first piece of roasting they get, the first challenge they get that back them up into a corner, they hard like rock. There's no bye. There's no bye anything again. They get hard. You allow a challenge to roast you and become from a soft person to a hard person, then use a air of corn. What about the cassava? You're hard. Me, I ain't budging. I ain't going to temple and so forth. And one day the merciful master take you and shift you from an accident and you realize, oh God, you mean I forget your time, you come soft. You're the same person coming satsang now. So it's nice to be a cassava in that sense now. But then there is the coffee. When you roast coffee, two things happen. When you're passing by, well, not rituals, that only 1%. And not Starbucks. When you're passing by Moi coffee shop, that's the corner of Joyo Street. And you smell it, oh God, where do? I could take a cup now. You don't have 3 cups anyway, you could take another cup, boy. That thing's smelling nice. And oh gosh, don't talk when you taste it, man. You're savoring it. Sip by, you want to finish it. Sip by sip, you're taking it. Be like coffee. Let your life be fragrant. Let your life be, people want to sit down and sip of your conversation. That's the best thing to be. So forget corn and forget cassava too, because don't wait on God experience to come soft. Be soft from the beginning. Don't wait for a God experience to choose, but be coffee through your life. The more heat you get, the stronger the coffee. Hong wing, chong wing, or whatever you want to call it. Be like coffee in life. Ek baad bolo siya Ram Chandra ki. At this juncture, we bring Katha to an end. I thank you for being an attentive audience. We will close with a short bandana. And I believe someone had to say something. So we'll pass you on to. So let's close. Om Raksha Raksha Mahadeva Raksha Raksha Janardhanam Rakshantu Devata Sarve Brahma Vishnu Maheshwaram. Om Tumeva Mata Chapita Tumeva Bandhuscha Sakha Tumeva Vidya Dravinam Tumeva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Shanti Bolo Shri Gajanan Swami ki Jai, Bolo Shri Saraswati Mata ki Jai, Bolo Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Umapati Mahadev ki Jai, Pavanaputra Hanuman ki Jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Siyavar Ramachandra ki Jai.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for being here for the first reading of Mr. Krishna Maharaj. Krishna has been my personal friend for years. I think he has been a great guide to most people that ever made contact with him. I don't want to stay too long, but as of today, I have been in the photography business with Krishna. I'm a professional photographer now, and it's all because of Krishna. When I started, I didn't know anything about photography until I met Krishna. great guy. He's not here with us in body, but we will never forget him. I will never forget him, certainly, and I believe I speak for a lot of people who have made contact with Krishna and who has been part of his life. So I want to thank you all for being here, and I want to thank Krishna on the whole for having me where I am today in my profession as a professional photographer. Thank you all.
It's my understanding that food has been prepared, so you all are welcome to join in. We're just concluding a short